Hello and welcome to the show. This is Do All the Things. On today's episode, I'm continuing with my main rig here, Monolith, trying to figure out why it's resetting on me. I've done some video card swaps suspecting my video cards, but I don't think it's my video cards. So maybe it's the power supply. Let's swap it. Alright, so if you've been following the comedy, you know that I've been having a problem with my computer lately. It happened around the same time those bad drivers were going around for AMD cards, where I'd just be using it. Usually, within the first 10-15 minutes of turning the system on, it would just reset. Like someone pressed the reset button. You're just there, no shutdown, no blue screen, just pew, and then restart. Because it happened around the same time as those bad drivers, I played with the drivers and it stabilized for a bit, but then the problem came back. So suspecting the card, I swapped out my 6950 XT, put one of my old Vega 64s back in there. The problem still happened. It didn't feel like it was happening as often, but it still happened. I've put my 6950 back into it on the last episode, and as you can imagine, well, it's still happening. I don't think it's the card. Now, one obvious issue like this could be, is power supply related? Maybe. And it just so happens that I do have a spare power supply. It was the original power supply for this computer. Well, it depends on your definition of original. This particular has had many configurations. So at some point in human history, this computer had a 2700X on an X470 with two Vega 64s, and I was running this 1200 watt Seasonic Platinum, and I've had this guy for a few years. I think it was rated a 7-year warranty, and when this problem was coming up, it wasn't out of warranty yet. Now, what happened was I upgraded to my 3800X with this X570 board that I have now with the two Vega 64s, and that's when I was having this resetting problem. Overcurrent protection was kicking in. I even messaged Seasonic, contacted them to figure out, well, is this a warranty issue? And then they're like, no, you're running too much hardware. 1200 watts not big enough for everything you have. Really? That doesn't really make sense on paper, and even some online calculators didn't agree with that, but it had to do with those transient spikes. I do believe it was the 3080, 3090 series. That's what the other YouTubers have been talking about. Video cards can have split-second peaks beyond their rating. Maybe it's a 300 watt card. They could suck back 400 or 500 watts for a split second, and that could trip the protection in your power supply. Even if the power supply could handle a peak like that, it's an error message it's reacting to. So what I did to solve the problem was I rigged the computer up with two power supplies, and then what I did to solve the problem a little bit more permanently is I acquired this. An EVGA Supernova 1600 gold. Should have more than enough juice for this. Mind you, I did buy it used for cheap, and I know it was a retired mining power supply. Not sure if that prematurely aged things or whatnot, but you know, this is just all part of the troubleshooting. Truth be told, I got so much wiring going on in here. It could be a number of things. You know, just shorting out your RGB could trigger your power supply to shut down on you. So I think at some point I need to just go through this computer, just really inspect and redo stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Like look how big this isn't pretty. This is not a pretty build like you're used to seeing. This is a working man's build. But yeah, not looking forward to it. But we gotta pull all these wires out. Ho 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 ho. Oh boy. I guess this wasn't a problem. You know, you're starting to get a bit flaky on your cable management. It's just like, let's just jam random pieces of plastic in here to act as insulators. Oh, what's this? Oh, they're little jumpers. Oh yeah, I was looking for those last episode. There they were. Oh, everything's so, well, I was gonna say nicely bound up in here, but let's face it, this is not my best work. It's just like, you just want to get it done, bud. Oh great, how am I gonna get at this? Good thing I have nimble fingers. There we go. And this one here. You know what? Maybe this will be easier than I'm thinking it is. I'm also gonna go ahead and disconnect all these puppers. Does not want to let go. Most all this should be loose now. Oh yeah. Dual modular. Fully modular. It's making this a bit more handy. And we have one Molex run to connect pumps, and gee, you know what? Maybe this is more straightforward than I was expecting, because this is moving along rather fast. Okay. Oh boy, we're gonna have a trouble powering this, aren't we? Or do I still have that power cable? One of the controversies I have with this is I don't run my computer off normal plug power. You see, if you have a 1600 watt power supply or even a 1200 and you're actually expecting that power supply to do its job, you can't just plug it in anywhere. In my room there, my office, I have a dedicated circuit, right? It's got its own circuit, but it's not just a normal circuit. It's look at that. Look at that. That's a 220 right there, bud. 220, 240, whatever you want to call it. 240 15 amp run. I run my computer off double voltage. In theory, it's more efficient that way, but also the power transmission's more efficient. If this thing was actually pulling a heavy load, you get line losses from a wire going all the way to the other side of the house. You'll get less losses at higher voltage because in order to get that same wattage, it will consume less amperage. Question is, do I still have my power cable for my Seasonic? I must. Yes, I do. Here it is. Okay. Because this has one of those big connectors there. That's non-standard, bud. Beast. Do we have any reason to suspect foul play on this unit? I want to open it, but they have the do not open seal. Looks relatively decent back here. I got this kicking around from a previous mod. Maybe I'm gonna undo that while I'm in here. According to specifications, this thing's more energy efficient than the Seasonic Platinum. So what do we need here for cables? So this guy's got the motherboard on it. It's got one of the 12 volt ATX. Thinking of hooking up that second ATX. We need at least one SATA, one Molex, 3 VGA. Where are my old cable sets for this? Okay, I think these are them here. One PCI VGA. Oh, another CPU one. Okay. A SATA and a Molex. Okay, it looks like we're starting off strong. We need more VGAs though. Okay, here's one more VGA. A double SATA. Another individual SATA. Really? Are these all seriously from the same power supply? We're gonna have to confirm these findings. Oh, I had the box for it just kicking down there under the bench. I have a problem not putting away things sometimes. What do we got here in the little cutesy pouch? Another Molex, another PCIe, all the PCIes. All right, now the next thing I want to do before I get too into this is I want to test this. But like, I know it works. It's just all these cables. You know, you got all these frickin' cables, bud, from all these different power supplies that you've worked with over the years. You don't know what's what. They all look the frickin' same, bud. Oh yeah, see? This one says Color Game Boy on it. I don't think this one is for the Seasonic. Or no, I think these other ones that are for the Seasonic say Color Game Boy on them too. So they might be all okay. I'm just gonna run through. I'm gonna test. I got this little one of these guys kicking around. I need some power for this. Here we go. Turn that on. Got fan spin. We know that cable's correct and I know this cable's correct. So we'll set those aside. Bust out the multi-of-meter. Okay, let's start with the SATA. Now for those, I'm just gonna pop them up to a hard drive that I don't care about. It spins. I don't think it would spin if the wiring was wrong. Only need to test one per cable. This one's spinning 2. Oh, here's another SATA bot. This one's spinning 3. It's one of the great things when you actually bought the power supply new is it came with all the cables. For Molex, we're kicking it manual styles here. We just need to match color code here. Which if we just find something with a hint of ketchup and mustard on it, we could tell right away. Red is 5. Confirm red is 5. Okay, so this Molex is good. It only has 2 on it. I think we might need more than that. We need 2 just for my hot swap bays. Surely I have another Molex. Oh, I found another SATA. That SATA's good. Okay, tell me we have more than one Molex. It's one of the problems with new power supplies, or it's not a feature, it's a flaw. It's not a flaw, it's a feature. It's a feature, not a flaw. You know what I'm trying to say. They don't have enough Molexes. But like, that's understandable because it's freaking 2023 now. This is more like a 2012 power supply. Okay, I have another Molex for it. Do we even need to test this one? It came out of the original box. A little extra added security of making sure you do your diligence before you do and blow stuff up, right, buds? Yeah, I think so. All right, PCI Expresses. For these, I need to see a pinout. So, you know, we could just as easily just jump on the Googler here and then we can see note. There's a note. The official specification standard lists this as no connection, but most power supplies provide 12 volts at this point. Okay, so if we're looking at it like this, buds, just like that. So that should be a ground. This should be a sense. We're getting 0 there. 0 or that's supposed to be a ground. 0 or that's supposed to be a ground. And here should be 12, 12, 12, and 12. Okay, yeah. So we just repeat this procedure. All these grounds should have nothing on them. Oh, and then we should have 12, 12, 12. So it's all making sense. It's all making sense. It's all making sense like the sense pin. Sure. Last but not least, we have a CPU 12 volt ATX yada yada connector here, which is represented into this second photo, or no, second part of the same photo. It's an oppositional. These bottom connectors are ground. That top should be 12. Yes, 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 and yes. Okay, that satisfies my paranoia. All this bunch of cables right here is for this power supply. Now I guess we can stop screwing around and get this spaghetti seasoned. In the spirit of maintaining my stuff, I have opened these. Like you can see, my warranty void seal is broken, which, you know, this is something that I don't recommend doing because you void your warranty. But apparently word on the street is you don't void your warranty. The manufacturer might tell you void your warranty, but apparently it's illegal to tell people their warranty is void because they open their stuff. I also I wonder where that is, because I am in Canada. I'm not sure if we have the same warranty void rules. Maybe that wouldn't fly here. Maybe they would exploit that. But the only reason why I'm doing this is because I want to take this cover off. You see, this cover is redundant. It doesn't have a dust filter or anything. It's just going to be more airflow restriction, even though it's pretty transparent looking. But you know, it's face down. It's not like we can touch it. So I just decided one day to take that out. Still pretty clean in there. That's a beefy looking fan. That's not a cheap piece of crap fan. Look at that hub. You don't see that on just, you know, your regular frickin', yeah. I've just decided I have too many cables everywhere. Let's put them on the other side. Oh yeah, I was gonna do a little mod here. So right about here, Funk Soul Brother, I have this cable thing. And what this does is it feeds power to the exterior of the computer. And it does this for the sole purpose of powering an external relay switch that turns on my stereo system. Used to be, I had it go through one of these, you know, expansion slots, but I don't swing that way anymore. It's kind of popping out the top using an extension, which is a little inefficient. Do I have room to put it back in an expansion slot? I feel like there's a reason why I removed it from that position, so they could fit other crap. Like, I guess I could put it back in up over here, but then I didn't want to run a wire up there. I just realized I have this installed into one of my slots that splits down to 8x. I don't want that there. I want that down more. That can't have anything to do with this problem. Well, I'm gonna move it anyway. That screw is loose. Wonderful. That screw is loose too. What's going on here, buds? I think I removed this because if I stick a spare video card in this slot, I'm not going to be able to, yeah, that's why I did it, because I didn't want it taking up room up there. Okay, well, I'm just going to stick with the plan that I had here. And that is, I need to get this off. And you're like, oh, how do we do this ship in a bottle? Well, easy. I'm going to mark the red wire, even though you'll barely see that red. I'm going to get my repinning tools, which are a quarter useless. Like, I don't even remember what these ones are for. I don't know that they're for this. And then the PCIe one, I broke it. PCIe is so difficult to get those connectors out. I mostly got it for this, Molex. Molex is very, very cooperative in the repinning. Ta-da. Just gotta make sure we spread these legs back out here. There's these like little fine barbs. This one's suffering a bit. Oh, is this one straight up broken? Or no, it's just crushed in there. That's wonderful. You can tell I've messed with this a bit too many times. Oh, it might break now. Oh, yeah, I lost a bit of it. But either way, we got to spread those barbs back out and give them back the good old insert into where they need to be. And boom, crisis averted. Now, that's why I put them in loose, so I could arrange these things. Like, sometimes you got to put them in a little bit loose there so that they can wiggle. Make it so that they fit together there and then tighten them down. I forgot to tighten them down. Yeah, see, that one was being uncooperative. All right, while we're in here, we just gonna give it a quick suck, yeah. Oh boy, this is not working. I guess I should do something about that while I'm working on this today. Okay, impromptu water cooling adjustments. At least we have a valve to close, not on this side though. What kind of mess are we gonna make today? Don't have to worry much about spillage. Nothing to spill on. Hey, keep that air bubble out of there. We essentially gotta go digging around for a tube that is the correct length. Which does beg the question of whether or not maybe I should have put the valve here so that I could be able to change the tube when I change the card. This one looks like it should reach. It's already fitted to this kind of a barb. Yeah, this one even looks like it will go on that barb. Huh, how much water are we gonna lose out here? Come on, get, not lots. Okay, well, Oh, it's pouring. Come on. Oh, jeez. This is not favorable. It doesn't want to go on there. But it wants to spill water using surface tension. Come on. Get on there. Get on there, bud. Get the frickin'... You're seeing my chin and not the action. Get the frickin' Oh, that's still putting too much frickin' tension on here. It's still technically too long. It is more favorable. We can brace it here and then it won't. So that's what we're gonna do. Shep, we've done put air bubbles up into this pupper. I guess it is what it is. Okay. That's braced nice now. That's a lot more acceptable. Other than we got freaking air bubbles in here now. Let's open this up. We're gonna have to circulate this water around a bit. I make a much bigger mess here than I was expecting to make today. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Let's kind of maybe schnuffle that into place and bolt her down. All right, let's get serial here now, bud. So I need 2 Molex for up here and a Molex for the pumping system. I kind of want to use separate Molexes for that. And only like 2 SATA powers. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's do this stuff first. The bigger boys. Just all sorts of rotationals here, bud. Got to retrain the cables a little bit. You know what I should do while I'm in here? I should pop these RAMs out and reseat them. You'd be surprised how many computer problems I've fixed over the years just reseating components. It's almost like heat cycling wiggles them just a little bit. Fishy wiggle out. Need a lazy Susan. And it's gonna go down in here. Rotator again. Where's this go? I think I used to stuff a bit of foam underneath this thing to support it. There and there. Yeah, I think that's what this was about. Even though that's not gonna do frig all for that. Power de CPU. Dedicated. What is this gooey crap? Ugh. Probably a friggin' piece of tape. Come on now. Where's what I'm looking for? There. No. I'm getting frustrated here. Just chucked it all on the ground, now it's out of sorts. I'm gonna double up my ATX 12 volt power connection here. Maybe, just maybe, this CPU sucks back enough juice it can actually benefit from such things. Did you know to know? You know, I've told people it's not necessary. It's been said that it's not necessary. As I recall, Steve doesn't think it's necessary. Maybe it's good that it's not necessary because like, how am I gonna get it? How am I gonna get in there? At some point, buds, you're just kind of using the force, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're not supposed to be able to make this reach, but you do it anyway because you believe in yourself, and it's just like you kind of just manifest it, you know? Channel your inner child that can just get in there. And then, you know, get a little bit of help from a stick. Once you think you got her lined up. She ain't clicking though. Come on now. She's jamming up like I got the wrong one in there. Oh, friggers. Getting it out is hard and getting it in. I see what's going on here. A little bit of derpentine. I put it in upside down. Oh, you little... Good thing I didn't do more damage. Okay, this time for sure. Gotta kind of contort your body. Oh, there we go, right in there. So you gotta contort your body to get your arm to go on the right angle to reach the freaking baba. Ah, it's so nice. We gotta do it twice though. I don't even know if I'm getting this through the correct hole. Oh, nice view you got here, buds. Okay, let's do this. Wow, a bit smoother than expected. So, what route did these take before? You can layer them nice like this. Oh yeah. And then just kind of, you know, snoot them in this hole down here and figure on where they belong. Up here. Oh, no, there's a special one here, but up here. So we'll just, haha. This is more fun than I was expecting. I was dreading doing this because I was like, oh, it's going to be so much work to change out this power supply. Oh, no. But no, it's not that bad, bud. It's not. We're doing okay. Okay, so what's next? We're going to do Molex on the rear or PCIe. So these guys here, these guys right here, these take Molex. They're around back. Then we have a SATA and a SATA. Now before, I think I just had those doubled up with one SATA cable and I was good. So you gotta watch out because this is a hot swap. And what happens with the hot swap is sometimes if your power is not good, I've had this happen before where like all these were on the same power rail. Maybe it's older drives or something, but you get a power spike. When you go and you friggin' launch a drive into that bay, once it kicks on there, it causes a power spike that shuts off the other drives. And then they crash whatever the frig they're doing. And you want to avoid that. So I've always tried to like really distribute the power here like extra optimally. But in the last iteration of this, yeah, I only had the one SATA connecting these two drives here. So I'm guessing that's a relatively safe bet to continue doing. Even though that line is short, we're not going to be hiding on that, are we? No, it does not look like it, sir. I do have an individual. I wonder if this is one of the ones that I modded. Definitely, I was cutting on this. I guess we'll just go ahead with what we were doing before, even though it don't feel right. They aren't even going on there, bud. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna shove that SATA up in here. I'm gonna put 1R SATA on that one. 1R SATA on this one. They're gonna have their own lines. Max data integrity. Straight from Integrity Farms. They're different links now, though. It's gonna make it a little bit, well, we can move this one down. Let's see how that looks. In order to get these the same length, we would use, I guess, the upper connector on this one. Okay, I guess that's what we'll do then. I'm not gonna plug them in yet. Now back on the rear arse. I've had those on the same bus for a long time and it hasn't caused a problem. And I've also triple shared them with the pumps and the relay. I don't want to do that anymore if I don't have to. So I could use this double Molex. I said I'm going to use this double Molex. That's why people don't like Molex anymore, right? I think it's a small reason to fuss. It didn't used to be this difficult back in the day. I think the quality has just gone down. And then this triple Molex, which I wish was a single Molex. We need to connect the pumps and the relay device. That'll go right there like that. Relay device will go on this end. Oh, it's pushing out. Pump will just spliff onto this end. That could quite reasonably tuck into here. I guess we could fish this guy down through this opening and just tuck this guy down to this general area here. Except our relay is hiding and we need it to come up and around. It'd be nice if that, oh, I might be able to make it all the way out the hole now without having to use the extension. Before, the way it was, I had to use this extension. But now I might be able to just, haha, no more extension. Okay, this is better than it was before. This Molex here is barely gonna be long enough to hide. Unless we maybe, okay, we got all sorts of cables. We should, I think this little cable, we gotta rearrange this. It needs to go under this big cable. That's the trickiest part of this. You know, you get to the cable management process and even though you don't give a crap about what it looks like on this side, you still have a fair amount of Hugo weaving that you wanna do. Now, seeing as this is the shortest run cord, let's see. Oh, that's not gonna play nice. You little dickens. We're gonna have to make it like just come out right in the open here. Yeah, so it's gonna go through that hole and then it's just gonna fug ugly come across here. As we put it down here, it doesn't reach to like here. Oh well. But we have this guy that we fished in from the pump section. And then these two guys that are coming down from the top. You're slowly learning how to unmanage your cables, sir. Yeah, I know. Getting lazy on the get her done computer. Just has to work. Now, we did find our little jumper dealers here. Wait, do we even need the jumper dealers? No, this already has a sharp bit on it. We just need to plug her into the RGB connector here. So why was that a malfunction? Oh, no, it doesn't have the sharp points. Can you even see? Okay, I'm calling jumper dealers. They're coupler dealers. And I'm using just a 4-pin adapter here. So I have to make sure I see how I connected it up here. It's the 2, which is these guys here on the side with the pip. So the RGB on that card should work again now, pretty much. Sure. Just stoosh that right there. Okay, now I just need a triplicate of PCIe. This one's split. These ones are bundled and ready to go. This was my solution before to make them not so ugly. I just kind of bundled that there and kind of tucked her away. And then what? Make them go through a hole? Yes, I guess so. So I didn't think to talk about this at the beginning in the intro. But part of the philosophy here is when I had 2 cards, this power supply couldn't cut the mustard. But now that I only have 1 card, I've gone back to 1 card. I will not be Crossfire gaming. I should be able to go back down to the 1200. That would be quite disappointing if when we do our stress tests, she pops. Okay, yeah, pretty dangly. I should just cut those off. That's what I used to do. Like I never double up cards on the same line, ever. There's just this weird philosophy of uncertainty that I exercise that makes me non-committal to certain things. It's like, oh, what happens? You know, it's like those old box of cables that you don't throw out. It's the same thing here. Like, oh, what happens if I do need the little double jumper, get it over to yeah. Well, you know what? It's in there now. Let's just get it done. We got to get those connections up to about here. So we need to take this triplicate of ribbon. Oh, roughly the same length. That's sweet. Push them up through this hole. Flip or bake round. Clicky. Or wait, we're doing this in the wrong order. I want to follow this. Okay, clicky. Does that make sense actually? Should it be the other way? Clicky, clicky, clicky. Yes, it does. Okay, so it doesn't look like completely awful down here. It doesn't look completely awful. I guess she's back together now, bud. The only thing is I want to kind of get the juices flowing before I button her up because, you know, I've screwed with the water loop again and the pump is here. All right, El Homedo PWM control box. I'm gonna use my silly battery today. Plug it. And we need, oh boy. Well, this is a conflict. Because I moved my recording drive down, I can no longer get at my PWM cable for the pump. I gotta remove my recording drive. Good old Intel 750 hard card, or a solid state card. I get a kick out of the hard card. That's some old tech that existed like way back in ancient times. Google it. Oh, look at that. Can I pull this cover off for more cooling? Well, I've already bent it and made it look stupid now. They put all this heat sinking in there, and then they just put this channel cover here that's just gonna like make it keep the heat in there. Yeah, Google a hard card. Okay, try this again. Boom, boom, power. And using our PWM control, get those juices flowing. Recently saw a Jay's 2 Cents video where he's complaining about not liking PWM pumps because he can't control them when he's priming the loop. I have a half mind to build one of these and send it to him to see how he likes it. Not that the guy even knows I exist nor would accept anything I make for him. That and I have to feel like building something just to give away. I don't know if I'm in that monetary income bracket yet on this manifestation. Just mess with it till we work out the kinks, right, bud? Gurgle, gurgle. Oh, I let a bubble get into the pump. All right, I think that should be good enough. Let's button this pupper up. Will the back panel still fit on? You know what? I didn't even bother tying the twist here yet. What tomfoolery. It's not recognized the tie of twist. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna be good. Just hiding it all under the rug here. These ancient thumb screws, they did not come with the case. They were a kit that I bought in the early 2000s. And it's funny because if you look at the threads on them, they're wearing out, bud. They're wearing out. I've had this case forever. I still haven't peeled this off the acrylic. But then that acrylic's gonna be fresh, right, buds? Protect it. It's protected. All right, I think we go to the other side and test this. Yeah. All right. Let's plug it in for the first time. Now, when you're dealing with 220, make sure the switch is off. Oh, the power supplies can handle 220, 240 volts without any modifications. It's built into it. Actually, computer power supplies have been able to do that for a while. They used to have switches on them, but they don't have them anymore. It's automatic now. Now, I stirred the camera before I turn it on to see if hilarity is going to ensue when I go to, okay, that's a good sign. Our lights be blinking. So I'm not expecting any different results here from these torture tests, but guess what? We frickin' gave it the beans it's capable of getting and nothing popped. The only other thing I can test is my hot swap. This one usually goes in here and that one should do without. Yeah, I didn't hear any other drive turn off. Let's pop this one up here. It shouldn't crash, right? Now where stuff might get dangereux, pop another drive, see if it crashes the adjacent drives. No. Okay, good. That works. So if I end this video right here, right now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, stay tuned because this, gotta sort this out. And I do want to upgrade this thing soon. I just keep not pulling the trigger, right? Half because I don't like these new AM5 motherboards. Like, dudes, what the frick? But yeah. I don't know how to end this one. I'm just thinking if this resets again, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have a slight follow-up because I don't think you want another 20-minute, half-hour video saying, oh, it's still doing the thing. Not sure what else to try now. If it keeps resetting still, it's just I'm probably not gonna mess with it until we do upgrades. So, yeah.